Good afternoon. Today I'm doing the Chapter 9 reinforcement exercises. I'm going to go over a few of these for you. Basically knowing where to punctuate a sentence. So remember, if you have two independent clauses joined by a coordinating conjunction like and or but or for, that you have a comma and then the conjunction. Comma, conjunction. On each side you have an independent clause. Okay? Independent clause is a sentence that can stand alone. So here's an example. Glide Memorial Church in San Francisco auctioned off a lunch with Warren Buffett, and the winning bid was $2,626,000. Okay? So, you see the comma and then you see the word the is going to start another sentence. Okay? The winning bid was. Okay? So, this is going to come right here. Okay? The winning bid was. So, you have a subject and a verb. Okay? On this side, Glide Memorial Church in San Francisco auctioned off a lunch with Warren Buffett. That's a complete sentence by itself. Comma, conjunction, another independent clause, so you have to put a comma conjunction for those. Okay? So you have to be able to recognize an independent clause. And remember that if it's 13 words or less, you do not have to put a comma, even though you may have a conjunction. Okay? Remember, if you are using a conjunctive adverb, then like for the word however. Okay, most of the time you're going to have a semicolon and then a comma to join two independent clauses. This is a subordinate conjunctive adverb. Consequently is one. Then and thus. You need to go back and look at these that have only one syllable. Do you put these two pieces on either side? Go back and look at that. Then there may be a sentence that has a coordinating conjunction, but they're not two independent clauses. For example, the city of Harrisburg has declared bankruptcy, yet remains optimistic that it will bounce back. The word yet in this sentence is a coordinating conjunction, but the part that comes after the word yet, remains optimistic that it will bounce back, is not a complete thought. What remains optimistic? So make sure you look at those very closely. Now, sometimes, remember, you'll have the word however, but it's not used this way. You'll set it off with commas because it's basically just interrupting the sentence. For example, the companies, however, say that they have the right to monitor their employees' whereabouts. Okay, in that case, you're going to use however with commas on each side. It's an afterthought, however. Okay, so make sure you know the difference between an afterthought or a conjunctive adverb. This is a conjunctive adverb. conjunctive adverbs, it's going to have the adverb and it's going to have a semicolon and a comma. If it's an afterthought, you're only going to have a comma and no semicolon. You should be able to tell the difference between the two the way the sentence is written. Okay? And sometimes you're going to have sentences that's going to start with a dependent clause followed by an independent clause. For example, if you would like to apply for the position, comma, please contact me immediately. Usually you're going to have subordinating conjunctions like although, because, if, since, when, and these start off the sentence. Although she was late, comma, she still arrived on time. That's crazy. But anyway, the sentence here was, if you would like to apply for the position, comma, please contact me immediately. So if you would like to apply for the position is not a complete thought. It leaves you hanging. If you would like to apply for the position, then what do you want me to do? Comma, please contact me immediately. Know the difference between, and this should be in the lecture notes, that, which, and who. So we know that who is going to deal with a person. That's when you use the word who. So if you're referring to a person, you're not going to use that or which. Okay? So the homeowners association must come up with a solution that will satisfy all residents. Are you the one who processes expense claims? The IRS, which audits only 1.5% of all income tax returns, is choked with paperwork. So that is for a thing. Okay? So which is dealing with non-essential. So again, I'm going to read the one for which is non-essential. Gives you non-essential information. The IRS, comma, which audits only 1.5% of all income tax returns, comma, is choked with paperwork. So sometimes it will be set off by commas on both sides because it's kind of just there in the middle of the sentence. And it's not essential for the sentence to be a complete thought. Okay? The next part is, it's going to give you, or it may not, but I think it gives you coordinating conjunctions, and conjunctive adverbs, okay, and then subordinating conjunctions. Okay, so remember, coordinating conjunctions join two complete sentences with a comma, like comma, and, but, and if you remember the word fanboys, that will give you all of those. And you have to actually put these in alphabetical order on the Chapter 9 reinforcement. Okay? And, but, what's the N? The O, the Y, the S. You just have to put them in alphabetical order. Conjunctive adverbs like consequently, however, moreover, then, thus. Same thing. I think it's going to give them to you, but they're going to be mixed in with the coordinating conjunctions. So you have to put them in the columns, but in alphabetical order. Subordinating conjunctions, remember, starts a dependent clause although, because, if, since, when. So you'll have to take the word and drag it into the column. From all these words, which one goes under coordinating conjunction, which one goes under an adverb, which one goes under a subordinating conjunction. Okay, so remember these start a dependent clause. Okay, and most of the time these are going to have a semicolon and a comma afterwards, and then these are going to have a comma before the conjunction joining two independent clauses. Okay. Alright, this next part, number 24, it's going to give you a sentence and ask you, is it punctuated properly? If a sentence starts with the word because President Franklin D. Roosevelt passed a series of security laws in the 1930s, comma, he helped create the Securities and Exchange Commission to enforce them. So remember, the word because starts a dependent clause, so you're going to have a comma before the independent clause. The independent clause is going to start with like the, she, he, it, that kind of thing. Okay? So you're going to have a lot of those sentences you're going to have to figure out if they're punctuated correctly. If needed, comma, I can cover your Friday night shift for you. Because the economy dipped, comma, rents have decreased in many housing markets. This is one that is kind of like an interruption of the sentence. A flight attendant, comma, who joined our crew only 2 months ago, comma, was chosen to fly to Germany to help bring our troops home. So, who joined our crew only 2 months ago is like non-essential, but it's set off by commas on both sides. And it started with the word who. Your home warranty, which covers earthquake damage, expires in 2 years. Which covers earthquake damage is separated by commas. Starts with the word which. W-H-I-C-H. And then sometimes you'll have dependent clauses that fall at the end of a sentence. Like, remember I said a dependent clause will start with if or because or although. Sometimes it falls at the end. So here's an example. Please email Chris Bertrand if you have any questions. And in that case, you're not going to put a comma. Please email Chris if you have any questions. So that dependent clause falls at the end, but there's no comma there. Here's the reversal. If you have any questions about our proposal, comma, please email them to Chris. So in that case, you have a comma. Because if is starting the sentence, you're going to have to put a comma before the independent clause. Okay, I think that pretty much does it. Just make sure you know when to use your coordinating conjunctions, your conjunctive adverbs, using the semicolon and the comma. Remember the one syllable word, conjunctive adverbs, then, thus. What do you do with those? That's in your textbook in chapter 9. Make sure you go back and look for that. And then sometimes you'll have, it looks like a conjunctive adverb, but it's really an afterthought. And in that case, you only put commas on both sides. She was disappointed, however, when her boss was unavailable to attend on Friday. So again, that sentence, however, is an afterthought. Okay, so I'm going to stop here, and then I'm going to give you a review for your test, Unit 4 test. Okay?